Good morning. This is Good morning. This is John Gregory Presco, aka John Vincent Rosamond, and I will be doing a Muse estate planning video um, where I will talk about the reforming of the Rosamond legacy uh, and where we're going from here. I think I'm going to turn off that light back there. And we're going to be discussing this image and this embossed signature. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let me get a flashlight. In the future, I hope I can have a professional camera crew. Oh, right here is a stamp, Taglio stamp that presses the name Rosamond into this series of lithographs that were a family partnership formed between my father and my two sisters, I believe in 1986. There are four images, and this is one of them called The Beach. Now, it does not specifically say that this is my niece, Drew Benton. Therefore, I'm going to take the liberty to name her after my reborn daughter, Willow Maree Rosamond, who's going to be the subject of several books called Historic Romances. But this will be her when she was a young girl. This is all this is going to be loosely based upon real history in regards to my family and my famous sister, who was world famous artist Christine Rosamond Benton. But however, because and I'm going to maybe move this up. I hope I don't collapse everything here. Okay. So the history in regards to my late sister Christine Rosamond Benton, known as the artist Rosamond, most of it is fiction and out lies that I have been trying to deal with since 1994. And let's start with her death. When you're writing a biography of a famous artist, you start with their death, their birth and their death. And this is hard to do when how Christine died is a lie, a whole bunch of lies. It's just not a fact. So for that reason, I've created a whole new family around my daughter, who I renamed Willow, Maree, Rosamond. In fact, this is going to be her. I'm going to do a series of paintings of her. This is my muse, Rena Christensen, i.e. Easton, Rena Easton. And I'll be working with uh, from this photograph of Rena that she gave me when she was attending the University of Nebraska. She was just 18, even made when someone took a picture for the Oktoberfest. Uh, there was an advertisement there which I snipped off. I wish I hadn't. So this is going to be my fictional daughter. How she was born, came to be, and who her father was. Most of that's fiction. And why she wasn't allowed to be my muse when she came to my life at 16 is probably the most wretched, nightmarish story about art you can ever imagine, because she could have been a famous muse. Well, she's going to be a famous muse that I've renamed. And now I'm going to be constructing a whole creative world around her, which I wanted to do with my daughter, but I was not allowed. She disappeared for a couple of years and went over to my evil daughter. I mean, my evil, well, she went over to my evil sister, the most incredible liar that the art world has ever known, in world of literature has suffered. So we don't have facts, thanks to Vicky Presco, of that we could build a proper creative world around Christine Rosamond Benton. It's just a disaster, and it's the two books that have been written and two movie scripts are horrible. Anybody who reads Snyder's work is going to just put it down and not be able to finish it, and they're not going to be reading what they should be reading. The story of a beautiful woman becoming one of the highest paid artists in the world. Her name was everywhere. And this is all that people wanted to read. They didn't want to read about all the other wretched stuff. That was basically lies aimed at turning our family legacy over to outsiders. And I won't name them because I want to be free of them. At last, free of them at last. And these outsiders were not artists, not great people, not writers. They hired ghostwriters. Atrocious, just atrocious job. So, as a writer and the owner of Royal Rosamond Press, a newspaper for the arts, I'm starting from scratch today. Today is January 19th, 2022. And you can consider this an estate plan, just in case I should drop dead, knock on wood. And what people wonder where I want this to go. I bought a lot of canvases and art supplies, hope of rendering other pictures of Rena Easton standing on a hill. I started that, but that turned into the hill, the rescuing of the ballot boxes during the insurrection of January 6th. So I will be doing other paintings, hopefully, if my back allows me, of Rena Easton, who will be now Willow Maree Rosamond, the brother of John Vincent Rosamond. And that will be sort of the pseudo author uh, of her life, of the sister's life. My sister wanted me to uh, sort of teach me her style, and we'd work together, and I could become famous too. She gave me all credit for her success and teaching her about art, and this will actually be a truth. There'll be truths in the stories, the series Willow, Maree, Rosamond. There will be true stories mixed in there of our family. Our grandmother Mary Magdalene Rosamond and Roy Rosamond camped on the Channel Islands with Black Mask authors, including Dashiell Hammett. So there will be truths uh, mixed in with beautiful fiction, and that only I know how to write. And there's so much uh, of our story that I've not put on my blog, fearing other people use it to steal more from this wonderful story that the public can now read. There will be a series of books and adventures. Uh, Downton Abbey will be a model. There's a Rosamond in there and a rose. Uh, we're going to own the Hancock house that used to be on Beacon Hill. As it turned out, I've been doing like floor plans for a couple of years. I saw what I now realize is the Hancock house in a book with floor plans and picture of the house. This is the servants' quarters down in the basement. And I'm fascinated with doing that, creating that. Um, so Willow Maree Rosamond will have a Rosamond gallery, her gallery, Carmel. We're going to reopen it in a historic fictional manner. And her brother, John, will be living in the Hancock house that will be reconstructed on Beacon Hill. There's a model of it in Ticonderoga, New York, and maybe we can shoot some of the series in here because I'm going to sell this as a series. John Vincent Rosamond will be a scriptwriter for Hollywood and the painter of landscapes and ships, tall ships, including a couple of paintings of the USS Constitution that was captained by John and Willow's great grandfather, Sir Isaac Hall. So again, there will be historic facts mixed in with fiction to make a beautiful story that hopefully the reader will enjoy and follow. This is not an enterprise to make money. I am not going to be making things up to make money. This is going to be a reconstruction, the removal of the vile lies and sort of the flotsam that outsiders introduce. And yes, I'm going to take some liberties. Yes. Let's go back to a month or so after Christine drowned. My mother said that they were going to petition the executor, whoever that was going to be, to get an estate seal to put on these lithographs. They were unsigned. They were numbered because you're supposed to do that when they come off the press. You're supposed to put the numbered the edition number 2000, and then what number that was. And artist is supposed to sign that. Well, Christine was not present to sign, and after her death, Vicky told me that she was asked to come to Christine's house and sign up something like 8,000 prints. I don't know how many were signed, how many were unsigned, but that was Vicky. Vicky was signing my sister's name to these family partnership prints. And then they got the state sealed because Vicky didn't finish that job. And she was a named executor, but I believe there was another will. And I will make a fictional will. And the heir will be Willow, Maree, Rosamond. So I'm in I think I've covered everything. I'm going to be republishing my grandfather's books under Royal Rosamond Press, to put everything under one name. Like to say that there was a fictional artist called Sarah Moon, based upon the famous fashion photographer Sarah Moon. It turned out to be a 65-year-old Iranian man who was doing knockoffs of my sister Christine Rosamond's work. So there is a precedent for that in the books, and there will be in the history of Willow Rosamond. I will talk about that. I'm also probably going to have to hire an artist to do the paintings I want, because my back has only allowed me to stand for 15 minutes at a time. I have trouble doing my housework and my dishes and stuff. I got to take 10 minutes breaks. So I'm actually going to hire a young woman artist, and I would teach her the Rosamond style. Uh, I would spend a lot of time in our studio or her studio, or we'll be doing live chats, and I will be using family photographs. We're going to do a couple of portraits of Christine Rosamond Benton. There's no portraits done of her. And then we'll be working from photographs of the four Rosamond sisters, my grandmother. And so there's going to be a whole series of works to go with these books. The Willow series. This is exciting. I'm going to see if I want to hire a computer expert to regenerate images from this photograph, where she could be find a body that looks like hers. It's hard to do because she had just this perfect body. Perhaps when this gets going, Rena will actually contribute photographs of hers. But she was a reluctant muse, and I'm acknowledging that Christine Wandel is now my literary muse, and I'd written a poem about her, and she saw me painting over on 13th Street, and if we ended up together, she would have been my muse and possibly my wife. But here at the end of our lives, it's official. She's allowing me to write about her life and be inspired by the stories of her life. And I think this is a great art justice is being served here. because she was raised by a horrible mother who deliberately ruined her life and wanted her to fail. So I'm going to have her come in as a character in the Willow series. Right. I think that just about covers it. We got a 20-minute tape here. Um, you have a wonderful day. Okay, take care. Let me turn this off.